for me to, to come up with another topic of discussion for today, it takes me a very long time because to give a talk is very easy. But to choose a suitable sutta for this occasion is not very easy. And I need to choose a short sutta, not a long discourse, otherwise I cannot finish. And also I need to choose a sutta related to the retreat, right? Okay, finally I come up with Ananda Sutta from Samyutta Nikaya 22.83. This Ananda Sutta was preached at Savatthi. There, Venerable Ananda said to the monks, friends, Venerable Punna Manta Niputta was very helpful to us when we were newly ordained. So, Venerable Punna Manta Niputta was Arahant. So when the Ananda with other people, with other monks, when they just ordained, then the Punna Manta Niputta give a discourse to Ananda. Therefore, it's called Ananda Sutta. Give a discourse to Ananda, and Ananda, by hearing this discourse, become stream enterer, become Sotapanna. Okay, so let's see. But now Ananda, after become Sotapanna, he repeated what he have heard from Punna Manta Niputta to the monks again. Therefore, and now in this occasion, this sutta is preached by Ananda, but it's taken from what he had learned from Arahant Punna Manta Niputta. Okay. Before we go into the sutta, I'd like to ask you a question first. Okay? How the notion of I am arises? We all have the notion of I am, right? I am so and so. I am superior than you. I'm healthier. I am who and so on. So how the notion, the idea of I am arises? Let me ask you another question. Suppose you stand in front of a mirror, and you see your image inside the mirror. So at that time, do you cling to the image inside the mirror as yourself or not? So you will tell yourself, the image inside the mirror is myself. So you cling to the image inside the mirror as yourself. So how the notion of I am arises? Punna Manta Niputta say, it is with clinging. Clinging means upadana. It's with clinging, friend Ananda, that the notion of I am arises, not without clinging. Just like you stand in front of the mirror, you cling the image inside the mirror as yourself. So it's by clinging that the notion of I am arises, not without clinging. Okay? So, next question. Cling to what the notion of I am arises? So, the Arahant Punna Manta Niputta said, through clinging to form, there is I am. Not without clinging. If I don't cling to the form, then there's no notion of I am. Just like you do not cling to the image inside the mirror, then you will not think the image inside the mirror is yourself, right? So through clinging to feeling, the notion of I am arises. Through clinging to perception, how we perceive things, how we remember things, and through clinging to fabrications, like all the karma, all the karma and all the defilements or happy state of the mind, and so on. And through clinging to consciousness, 6 types of consciousness: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind consciousness. There is I am, not without clinging. So you can see those who are good speakers can precisely and in a very short way to tell you what is important. So Arahant Manta Niputta directly tell you, it's through clinging that the notion of I am arises. And clinging to what? Clinging to 5 aggregates. Okay? So why do we cling to the 5 aggregates? Since we say that it's true, clinging to 5 aggregates, the notion of I am arises, then we must ask ourselves another question. Why do we cling to the 5 aggregates? And this I quote from Ananda Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 12, Khanda Samyutta 66. So Buddha said, this sutta is called self-examination or inner exploration. Okay, you explore inside and keep asking yourself. Okay, they were ascetics, Buddha said. They were ascetics and Brahmins of the past who saw the things that seem, this thing means conditional things. Okay, including our 5 aggregates is also the conditional things. So who saw the things that seem nice and pleasant in the world? Our 5 aggregates seem nice and pleasant, right? And when they see things, when they see this seem nice and pleasant, 5 aggregate as permanent, then clinging arises. When they see these 5 aggregates as pleasurable, then clinging arises. When they see the 5 aggregates as a self, then clinging arises. When they see the 5 aggregates as healthy, then clinging arises. When they see the 5 aggregates as safe, very secure, got to rely on our body, our feeling, our mind, only then we feel secure. And when there's no 5 aggregate to hold on to, you feel very insecure. But you may not know that what you cling to and thinking them as safe is very unsafe. It's very fragile and very unsafe, very insecure. So I want to bring out another point for you. So you see, or when we see our 5 aggregates, or when we see anything in the world that produced by condition as permanent, as pleasurable, as self, as healthy, and as safe. As this way of seeing or perceiving things, right seeing or wrong seeing. So I think all of us, especially ordinary sentient beings, who sees the 5 aggregates, or who see anything in the world as pleasurable, as self, healthy, and as safe. This is the ordinary person's way of perceiving things, which they think is right. But for the noble one perceives differently. When you see everything is permanent, our mind and body is permanent, pleasurable, self, healthy, and secure, will you cling to the 5 aggregates, which you think is permanent, pleasurable, and self, right? Therefore, when we perceive things wrongly, when we do not see things according to its true nature, then clinging will arise. So clinging to the 5 aggregates arise due to not seeing 5 aggregates correctly. Not seeing Panchakanda correctly, then cause clinging to arise. Therefore, Buddha continued to say, so when you see this way, see the 5 aggregates as pleasurable, as self, as secure, then their craving grow. As their craving grow, their clinging grow. As their clinging grow, their suffering grow. And this is very important to me, to all practitioners. This is such an important point that everybody needs to bear in mind. Why? Because in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, we already said the craving has to be removed. The craving has to be eliminated, right? But when we see things wrongly, we do not eliminate the craving. Instead, our craving and clinging grow more and more. Then we are not working the Noble Eightfold Path to eliminate craving. Instead, we feed the craving even more. This is the wrong practice. Therefore, seeing wrongly causes defilement to arise. That's what you should remember. Okay. Then let us come back to Ananda Sutta and see what the Arahant say. Arahant Manta, Punna Manta Niputta say. And after Arahant asked the Ananda and tell the Ananda that it's through clinging to 5 aggregates, the notion of I am arise. Then he continued to say, but this time he asked a question to Ananda. Okay, he asked Ananda, what do you think, friend Ananda? Is form constant or inconstant? I think most of you will answer inconstant, right? But Ananda answered through his own practical meditation experience, not through hearsay. Through hearsay is also correct, but not deep insight. So, what do you think, Ananda? Is form impermanent or permanent? And of course, Ananda answered inconstant and impermanent. Then Punna Manta Niputta Arahant asked another question. And is that which is inconstant, easeful, dukkha, sukha, or stressful, dukkha? Then Ananda say dukkha through his meditation experience. Then the Arahant asked another question. And is it fitting to regard what is inconstant, stressful, subject to change as this is mine, with craving? For example, this body belongs to me, and the feeling belongs to me. My mental state, mindfulness belongs to me. Concentration belongs to me. Wisdom belongs to me. But when you see all this state, body, feeling, mental state are inconstant and as dukkha, then you will not cling to the body, your feeling, your mental state, or your consciousness as mine with craving. You also will not cling to your body, your feeling, your mental state as myself with identity view, ditthi, sakaya ditthi. You also will not cling to your body as I am. You will not cling to your feeling, your mental state as I am with conceit. My wisdom is better than you. Okay, my concentration is better than you. My mindfulness is better than you. These three questions or three ways of asking questions based on the practical meditation experience can be found in most of the sutta. Like, is form permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Bhante. Is form, what is impermanent, dukkha or sukha? Dukkha, Bhante. And is it fitting to regard what is impermanent, dukkha, subject to change, as this is mine, this is myself, this is what I am? No, Bhante. So such type of question and answer are commonly found in most of the sutta before this yogi or this bhikkhu attain the noble one. You can find these three ways of question and answer in Anatta Lakkhana Sutta or in Yamaka Sutta and in so many sutta. Therefore, we come to conclusion. Before you attain any Sotapanna, stream enterer, once returner or non-returner or Arahant, these three stages of insight have to be experienced directly, not from hearsay. Okay? So from here we also come to conclusion by seeing impermanent, by seeing five aggregates, pancha khanda, as anicca, impermanent, leads to seeing five aggregates as dukkha. And by seeing anicca and dukkha leads to seeing not mine, not myself, and not what I am. Therefore, for most yogi, including when I give instruction to the student, I ask them to see impermanent first. When you keep seeing impermanent, and when the formations, whatever object you observe, become very rapid, become very fast, arising and passing away, arising and passing away in succession, then you would understand dukkha. The knowledge will come to you directly without you thinking. Because constantly oppressed by arising and passing away cannot be sukha. How can it be sukha? Right? So the knowledge comes to you, oh, this is dukkha. And seeing anicca and dukkha, then finally you understand. These five aggregates or whatever you see is not mine, not myself, and not I am. Therefore, repeatedly seeing anicca, dukkha, anicca, then you will see dukkha, you will see anatta. Okay? Then we come back to the Ananda Sutta. And Arahant Punna Manta Niputta continue to say, seeing thus, the instructed disciple of the noble ones. So the instructed disciple of the noble one. This noble one doesn't mean that already become noble one, but the instructed disciple means this disciple of the noble one, disciple of the noble one. So this disciple has been listened to the talk again and again, and he understands five aggregates, and he understands anicca, dukkha, anatta. Therefore, we call him instructed disciple, disciple of noble one. The noble one teach five aggregates, four noble truths, and so on, right? And so this instructed disciple grows disenchanted with form. When you see form as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you get disenchanted with form. But if you see the feeling as anicca, dukkha, anatta repeatedly, then you get disenchanted with feeling. And if you see the perception keep seeing perception as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you know the perception is like mirage, cheating us. Then you get disenchanted with perception. And if you keep seeing the fabrications, whatever you do, you speak, whatever volition you have as impermanent, suffering, and non-self, then you get disenchanted with fabrications or formations or sankhara. So similarly, when you keep seeing the eye consciousness arise and passing away, the body consciousness arise and passing away, the mental consciousness arise and pass away, then you get disenchanted with consciousness. And it is precisely through this disenchantment, we call nibbida. Through disenchantment, he becomes dispassionate. And through this passion, he is fully released. Released from what? Released from clinging. He's fully released from clinging and attain Nibbana. Therefore, here is another important insight. Before this insight, you have to go through the insight of arising and passing away. We call Udaya Baya Jnana. Udaya Baya Jnana, seeing swift, fast arising and passing away, then you understand dukkha, you understand anatta. So when you keep seeing anicca, dukkha, anatta of whatever you observe, and whatever you observe is including in the 5 aggregates, cannot be out of 5 aggregates, right? Then you become disenchanted with what you see. You become disenchanted with the 5 aggregates. And this is very important insight knowledge. So there are 2 important insight knowledge. One is Udaya Baya Jnana, insight of arising and passing away. The second is Nibbida Jnana, insight of disenchantment. Without disenchantment, you will not become dispassionate towards the 5 aggregates. And without become dispassionate towards the 5 aggregate, you cannot let go. You cannot let go of the clinging to the 5 aggregate. Therefore, from disenchantment comes to the dispassionate. Then this person, yogi, let go of clinging. Let go of clinging to the 5 aggregates and become dispassionate and finally become released and attain Nibbana. Okay, so there is the insight knowledge that if you practice insight meditation, you should experience these 2 insights vividly, clearly in you. Only then, after that, you can direct your mind to see Nibbana. Okay? Then, after Arahant Punna Mataniputta explained this, then Ananda became stream enterer. Okay, so this sutta is very short. Simply say that why notion of I arise? Because of clinging. And clinging to what? Clinging to 5 aggregates. Then is 5 aggregates permanent or impermanent? Impermanent. What is impermanent? Is it dukkha or sukha? Dukkha. What is impermanent? Dukkha, subject to change. Can you regard it as I? Do you regard it as mine with craving? Can you regard it as myself with sakaya ditti, wrong view? Is it fit to regard it as with I am, as with conceit? Right? Then finally you develop disenchantment, then you become dispassionate and you let go of the clinging. So why I choose this sutta to you? Because this, when you practice insight meditation, what I say just now or what is written in the sutta, all will lead you to the realization of Nibbana. If you have gone through all this, you will reach Nibbana. Therefore, it's very important for a yogi to understand what you must go through. You must go through all this before the realization of Nibbana, before become stream enterer. Okay? Okay, the last one I want to say is how to give up clinging. How to remove clinging, how to remove the second noble truth, right? And you can get an answer from the Samyutta Nikaya 12.66. This is what Buddha said. Huh? There were ascetics and Brahmins of the past who saw the conditioned things, including the 5 aggregates, that seem nice and pleasant, right? Our 5 aggregates seem nice and pleasant to us, right? So if you see 5 what is pleasant and nice in the world as impermanent, anicca, as suffering, dukkha, as non-self, anatta, as roga, disease, as dangerous, then only then they give up craving. They give up craving for the 5 aggregates. Giving up craving, they give up clinging. Giving up clinging, they give up suffering. Because we have studied craving and clinging is the origin of suffering, right? So when you let go of that craving and clinging, then your suffering come to the end, right? So give up clinging, they give up suffering. And giving up suffering, they were freed from rebirth, old age, and death, from sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. They were freed from suffering, I say. As I said in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it is craving, craving that cause becoming, the craving that cause life, new life to come, to arise. Therefore, when you give up clinging, when there's new life, right, new baby was born, there's age, then there is aging, sickness, and death, and they start to cling to the 5 aggregate again. So all suffering come from having 5 aggregate, right? So, but if you give up clinging to the 5 aggregate, then you give up suffering. Giving up suffering together with removing all the craving, then they were free from rebirth, old age, and death, from sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and stress. They were free from suffering. This is the purpose we come to the practice, right? Because we want to free from all suffering. And how to free from all suffering? The Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta and this Ananda Sutta, including the Sutta Samyutta Nikaya self-examination or inner exploration, tell you the whole way to let you see clearly how clinging arises, and how to remove the clinging, so that you can reach the end of suffering. Okay? So that much is my Dhamma talk today.